We will tear your souls apart. Hello everybody, I am joined by my father today for a movie review. Say hi, Dad.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking about 1980s Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. What do you think of The Shining?
Great movie.
Absolutely. Probably one of my favorite horror movies, and it's just one of those, like, what's not to love about this film? Amazing acting, and great direction, and great cinematography, and...
Great performances.
Yes. It's hard not to dislike this, despite... I can understand why Stephen King doesn't like this film for a reason, because it's not true to the book, which that's understanding, but... No offense, Stephen King, I'm sorry, but we love this movie.
Yeah, it's really a movie that is very different from the book, but also, I think, more effective than the book was.
Right. But then again, there's a lot of people that would agree about that. People, even like my friend Christian, he says that for a Stephen King fan himself, that he thinks The Shining movie is better than the book.
Yes.
One of those rare times saying the movie's better than the book.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And it's also like the kind of film when you like watch it on like more viewings, you might catch something the second or third time you did the first time. Like
right. It seems like there's always something new that you see each time you look at it.
Right. Like when I was rewatching this, like I kind of like get the sense now when he said it's almost as if I've been here before when they first stay at the hotel when they're at first. I don't know, like whether it was weeks or a month or so, being the caretaker for the hotel. He said, it's almost as if I've been here before, especially the way the movie ends. There's a picture. It's like, could he be a reincarnation of that guy in the picture?
Right.
Who was there a long time ago at the hotel. And also, like, from watching the scene when he's in the bathroom talking to Gilbert Grady, who was the former caretaker who murdered his wife and daughters. It's like passing the torch to the new caretaker who becomes a killer. Right. And also, you notice the bathroom is red, and hence red rum. Right. Murdered spelled backwards.
Yep.
Yeah. But, like, the person who steals the show is Jack Nicholson. I mean, come on. Like, what's not to love about him in this movie?
I know. And you can tell that he's off kilter even from the beginning of the movie.
Right. Because he's an alcoholic and he's a writer trying to write a book, but...
Yeah, well, I think even beyond that, apparently he was not drinking, when he drove up there.
Right.
But you can tell that he's still just not right.
Right, exactly. Well, I guess because of like being an alcoholic, the withdrawals, I guess you could say, or maybe...
No, it has nothing to do with that. I think just psychologically...
He's just a wacko guy.
He's deranged.
Yeah, like that scene when he's going for the interview at the hotel. the pediatrician comes to visit Wendy and her son. She explains her point of view of the story about like what happened when Danny like broke his arm. Right. The first time I saw this, I had like the same reaction as the pediatrician. Like, what the hell?
I know.
And also, like, when they're, like, driving to the hotel, like, they were talking about the Donner Party. And he explains what the Donner Party is to a little kid. You mean they ate each other? It's okay, Mom. I learned about cannibal. I learned it on the TV. See, it's okay. He learned it on the TV.
Yes, I know. Those things kind of sneak up on you, like when you mention about... when the doctor is there examining Danny, and then Shelley Duvall just kind of nonchalantly tells this story, which is basically horrific. Right. And she kind of downplays the whole thing, and the expression on the doctor's face is priceless.
when I did a podcast, I mentioned like this scene, like similar to the scene in Jaws with what's his Robert Shaw's monologue. I'm thinking, I don't know what's more scary, like when Jack going crazy, or just like hearing that monologue of when Jack broke his son's arm. Yeah, it's like, what's more scary, that we don't see it, or we're just listening to a monologue about the accident. And also, she does a great job in this film. May Shelley Duvall rest in peace.
Yes, yeah, she was tortured during the making of the film.
Oh yeah, no, I saw. You can go like on YouTube and look up behind the scenes, he was very verbally abusive, Stanley Kubrick, to Shelley Duvall. It's like, dude, chill out. Take a Xanax.
She absolutely is terrified, and she portrays that brilliantly.
She does.
And, it's just a fantastic performance.
Right. I was telling my friends recently, if you look at Shelley Duvall, she kind of looks a little bit identical to Mia Goth, that they did. Well, again, not that I don't want another reboot after that miniseries. If they did this today, Mia Goth would play this role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even though, despite in the book, Wendy is not what it looks like in the movie. She's a typical, like, blonde, like, pretty girl, former cheerleader, for what I've heard.
Right, yeah. That's the way she's described.
Right, whereas, because Kubrick, this is Stanley Kubrick, he made this film his complete own, and, like just forgot about what the book was all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, the scene when he's at the bar. Hi, Lloyd. A little slow tonight, ain't it? That is a great scene. Mm-hmm. You set him up and I'll knock him out. It just shows how he's really going crazy, that he's just talking to someone that's not there.
Mm-hmm.
And also how, like, the ghosts are reincarnation or reenactments of what happened in the past.
Right.
Yeah,
it has scenes that have become iconic.
Right.
Like the blood flowing from in the corridor.
Right.
In the hotel. Of course, the famous "Here's Johnny."
Yes, and that was improvised. And the funny part is, Kubrick said he had no idea who Johnny Carson was because he lived in the UK, I guess.
Right.
I guess they didn't get the Tonight Show in UK. I don't know. I don't know the story behind that.
I'm sure they didn't. So that's probably why he didn't know.
Right.
And it gives scenes that are terrifying.
Yeah.
And scenes that are just very unsettling.
Oh yeah, like I remember the first time I saw this as a teenager when I first got into horror movies. I was so freaked out in the stir when Nicholson goes into room 237, which is considered haunted, and just when he thought he saw this beautiful naked lady, but oi.
Yes. Yeah,
but the whole moral behind that, I get that now, is that's what the lady would have looked like if she was alive today, because she was one of the people that was murdered at the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other thing I also never understood is the bear costume. Like, what the heck does that mean when?
I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, it is weird. This is what I read. It's supposedly a symbol of Danny, connection with overlooked past, rituals, cycles, incest, abuse, a symbol of wilderness, and the hotel's draining power, and also metaphorically on homosexuality. But I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it. But I just never.
I don't know. It was probably just something that was put in there to be strange.
Right, that's Stanley Kubrick for you. Weird, bizarre, and strange. And the funny thing is, despite how verbally abusive Kubrick was to Shelley Duvall, I read that supposedly Kubrick always spoke highly of her.
Yes.
I guess he saw a lot in her that maybe other directors didn't. I guess, I don't know.
No, yeah, I think. He eventually got what he wanted from her.
Right.
He got the performance that he wanted from her.
Right. And when you also said before about this film being iconic, the twins are very iconic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Before I saw this film, I remember Family Guy doing a parody of the twins. Come play with us forever and ever and ever. Mm-hmm. If you never saw this movie, you might recognize these twin girls from parodies.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I met these twin girls at Monster Mania back in 2014.
Right.
Yeah, they were very nice, but I wasn't desperate to get a picture for them. We were like, I think it was $50 at the time, but you get the point. Yeah, but it was still nice to meet them and chit-chat with them, telling how much I love the film, how it's a great horror film, how it's still like a big fan following today.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we saw the kid Danny at Chiller earlier this year, but we didn't meet him. We only saw him at a distance.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I would have wanted to have met him, but his line was a little bit too long. Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe someday in the future.
Yeah.
And this was also his only film he ever did. After this, he's a biology teacher today.
Mm-hmm.
Became a biology teacher. Oh yeah, remember when Dick O'Halloran's character, the black guy.
Scatman Crothers.
Scatman Crothers. Crothers, I'm sorry. When I first saw this film, like when he goes to the hotel to see what is going on, how come they're not getting a response signal from Jack and Wendy. I thought he was going to be the hero of this film, but no, boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
I was shocked, and this is the only kill of the movie.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very unexpected.
Right. Right. And it realized they were best friends.
Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing it in the movies. And,
right.
In the theater, I should say. And that was really a shock when that happened.
Right. And also, like with mentioning Family Guy, it's been parodied in other things like The Simpsons, The Shining, which I've never seen, but I've heard that's one of the good Simpsons episode, and the South Park Blockbuster episode. Remember we watched that?
Yes.
That was fun. Stan Marsh opens up he buys and opens up his own Blockbuster. That was the time when Blockbuster was going out of business. And also, what? Oh yeah, did you ever see Dr. Sleep? It was a sequel that came out 6 years ago. I saw that in the movies, and it wasn't bad. It was an okay sequel. It wasn't but I'll admit, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I have to revisit that film at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was worth checking out. I was glad that they did not de-digitalize the effects of Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. They used just younger actors.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Ewan McGregor, I thought, did a decent job as Danny. As an adult Danny. Adult Danny, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think the actor from this film played Danny was not consider a possibility to come back as adult Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, I know that in 1997 they made a miniseries called The Shining, directed by McGarris, but unfortunately I never saw this, and I can't really make a comment, but from what I saw from Nostalgia Critic's video, it didn't look good. I know that Sam Raimi has a cameo in the film, and that probably did not save the miniseries. Also, sometimes I ask myself, how is that Stephen King, who's written a lot of great horror books, could not write a good screenplay to one of his books? From what I also read and heard and understand is that Stephen King's intention for this miniseries is that he wanted to make the miniseries more true to the book than what Stanley Kubrick did. But I'm sorry, Stephen King, you cannot top what Stanley Kubrick and Jack Nicholson did for the original Shining movie.
What did you think of the kid who played Danny in this movie?
I thought he was great. He was very creepy.
Yes.
And it must have been, for somebody, that never acted before and
right.
didn't act since. I thought he did a great job. He was very convincing.
Right. Well, I thought he was going to be like an evil kid of the film, but no. Even though the Spidey has these shining powers, especially how he shares that with what's his name again? Sorry if I'm. I apologize. With Dick O'Halloran's character, how
yes.
Even without before the communication, they have the same ability. They know they have the same ability.
They have the same ability, yeah.
Yeah. Especially when he explains that when I was a little boy, I could talk to my grandmother without even moving my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing with Danny. I don't know what else has not been said about this. Actually, I don't know if you know this. That hotel where they filmed that supposedly is haunted.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
Yeah. Jim Carrey said that he stayed there and had a weird experience, and he said that he's vowed never to return, and he's never given his reason why, what happened. I guess probably it's for the best.
Yeah, and another, I guess, interesting thing about all of Kubrick's films are the number of takes that he does.
Yes.
Outrageous numbers of takes, and one time I had read that Jack Nicholson said, Stanley, just tell me what you want and I'll do it.
Right. I read that supposedly at that point, when, I don't know how far they were in the making of the film, he said that he stopped memorizing scripts because they kept improvising so much of the movie. And
then Scatman Crothers made a movie with Clint Eastwood. I don't remember which movie it was, but it was shortly after The Shining.
Right.
And Clint Eastwood did not do many takes at all.
Right.
He basically did one, and that was it. So when Scatman Crothers did one of his scenes, and Clint Eastwood said, "That's it," Scatman Crothers actually started crying because he was so thankful
that
he didn't have to do 100 takes like he had to do for Kubrick.
Well, that indie film I made a couple. Well, one of the first indie films I did as a boom operator. I joked with one of the actors, it could be worse. You could be working with Kubrick. We'd be here forever.
Yeah.
She got a kick out of it. And also, I also remember Blade Runner?
Yeah.
There's an alternate ending where the character Deckard and Rachel are like leaving the city of Los Angeles, and I don't remember like why. Like I don't know if Ridley Scott just didn't have the budget, or he just like, because remember where they're driving in the car on the mountains?
Yeah.
Like Ridley Scott called Stanley, asked him, "Can I borrow like a couple of extra scenes of leftovers of those shots? I can just like enhance them with Rachel and Deckard's character," and he did. But according to Ridley Scott, he sent them like over like 100 or even 200 takes of that. I mean, I don't know if that's the exact number. You get the point. The point is, Ridley Scott had a big take of tons of film reel from that those shots of them shot in the mountains driving the car. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. For a guy who was so great, but very difficult at times, wasn't the easiest director to work with at times.
No, but he certainly made a lot of masterpieces.
Oh no, he did. He did. This guy did not make a bad film. I did not dislike any of his. Yeah, he was one of the greatest filmmakers ever made. Mm-hmm. Just sadly, he's no longer around with us anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But at least he left a great legacy behind with filmmaking. Mm-hmm. Let's say. Oh yeah, one scene I also like, again, for Nicholson, how just like over the top he is, but in a good way, like, little pigs, let me come in, up by the hair on your chinny chin chin, or like, you're not going anywhere. it's like how it's hard to dislike this guy for how great he is in this movie.
Yeah.
You gotta laugh how excellent he is to watch.
He is, yeah.
And I guess that's everything we covered up with the Shining. So see you next time, and here's Johnny. Say goodbye.
Bye-bye.